Hello, I'm back, and this week what we're going to be doing is we're going to be screen printing underglaze on rice paper. I want to test and see how well I can get the underglaze to transfer to pieces that have already been glazed. They're not glaze fired, they're bisque fired with glaze on it, but I want to test and see how that works, so let's get started. We actually start screen printing. Let's do the underglaze prep. So I like to, what I'm using today, I'm going to be using Speedball Blue Frost, Speedball Sky Blue, and Speedball Black. And I like to prep these before I start. So these have all been thickened. You can see they're pretty thick, like Greek yogurt. What I like to do, they've been thickened, I've added transparent base to them, and now what I want to do is I want to take my immersion blender and just kind of mix it up really well. I do that in case there's any chunks, just kind of smooth it out. I'm going to go ahead and do that with all these colors. Now that those have been prepped, what I like to do is do a test first, just in case the underglaze has changed at all, because I haven't used these in a while, so sometimes the consistency can change. So I'm just going to take a piece of plain newsprint and do some tests to make sure the consistency is right. So we'll start with the black. Do some black polka dots. And I don't need to use a lot because these are just tests. So it came through pretty good. There's a couple spots that could be something underneath that could have messed it up. So I'm going to say this is good to go. So now I'm going to move on to the rice paper. And I'm just going to use a small portion of it. I don't need all of it. I'm going to do the same thing, just a little test area. So we're just making little test strips for those tiles. And I'm going to go one more time. I usually do it twice, but because I had a little clogging on that test, I'll just do 3 times for good luck, right? There, that looks good. That looks really good. Okay, so now I'm going to set the screen aside. I'm going to set this aside, and this needs to dry, and we can start working on the next 2 colors. Okay, so now we're going to do that same test, but with the Blue Frost and Sky Blue. We can just reuse this piece of paper. And we'll just do couple little tests right here. And you don't have to use a lot. These are just tests. Hang on, that looks like I just grabbed a oh, I didn't, sorry. I thought I had a big like a big chunk, not a good chunk of it, and I was like, okay. And these tests you can use for other things too, so they're not complete wastes. Okay, so we're going down, back. We'll do one more. Okay, let's see how that looks. Oh, that looks good. That looks good. So we don't need to add anything. If it was clogged, what I would recommend is adding some more transparent base, mixing it up again and testing it. But these look good. It's actually pretty cool combined like that. So now let's do the rice paper. So we have that piece of rice paper. And I'm gonna flip this around just so I don't smear this too bad. It'll work. I'll just add a little more. And I'm gonna flip this around so the colors are going the right way. You can see where that nail head's poking out. We'll just do one more time. And that looks good. Okay, so we need to set that aside and let it dry. Okay, we're back. And I zoomed in a little so you can see what we're gonna be doing. And excuse me, the rice paper transfers have dried, so they are ready to transfer. It's a really weird process. I always tell people it's like you wet things, you dry them out, you wet them again, you dry them out. It's like all this back and forth, but in the end it does turn out pretty. So I'm gonna do, I have two lines. I have a one-of-a-kind image transfer line, and then I also have a production line, which I call the Brighter Days. And these tiles that I'm going to show you are actually glazes from my Brighter Days collection. And so this is a mint green and kind of a chartreuse green. And then I want to put these polka dots on top just to see how it looks. Just doing some experiments. And I'm just going to do the whole thing. Actually, you know what? I am not, because I did a couple of these the other day, and you're going to see why I changed my mind. I'm just going to cut it down to the size we want. Okay. I'm going to flip it. Just like you would if the piece was leather hard. We're going to get our sponge. And what we're doing is now we're wetting it. So it was wet, then dry. Now we're going to make it wet again. Let's see. This is only the second time I've done this, so these videos are fun for me because I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Let's see. So we'll just gently smooth it out. And so you can tell it's not sticking because that glaze is so dry. That's the only thing, like, that's why I said you would see why I cut the piece smaller. I don't know, maybe you should transfer these like right after you print them so they actually aren't completely dry. I mean, that might work. I don't know. Let's see if it's transferring at all. No. It is not. This is what happened the other day too. For these other ones, I'm going to try something different. I took a workshop with Shauna from Pinkiss Pottery, and I saw her do this, and it worked a lot better. She did tell me that it works better on certain glazes, so maybe my glaze just isn't the best. Certain glazes, certain color underglazes. it started to transfer. This sponge is really wet too. It's just bad. I mean, I'm a patient person, but this is, it's not even, it's starting to a little. Ah. I wonder if it works better too. Ceramics, right? So many variables. I wonder if this works better if it's freshly glazed. Like these were glazed last week, so they're really dry. I'm just gonna flood it. Maybe I'm being too cautious. Let's see how much water's on there. It's definitely wet now. It's definitely saturated. You can see how it glistens. And gently squeegee. Nothing. Wow. That's crazy. Join me for more tips and tricks on how not to do ceramics. Holy cow. I thought this was going to be a fun little video where I show you a new cool technique. But transferred it all. Oh, it's starting to transfer. I guess I should stop being such a smart aleck. Cool. Oh, see, it's not. Oh, it's working a little. I'm pushing harder with the sponge. I've been kind of like, I've been really gentle. Let's see if that worked. Dang, man. It just does not want to transfer. This glaze is really chalky. I wonder if that has something to do with it. The other thing, these might not have been the best things to test, thinking about it now, because this is one layer of glaze, this is one, and then right in this section, it's two. So that might be causing me some problems, because like when I pull this up, I don't know, I guess it's transferring more. All right, let's do one more. All right, let's see. Worked a little. It's not the best, but well, let's try another one. I'm gonna do this blue one, and we're just gonna do a little strip. We're gonna do this little strip blue. And let's try something different. Let's pre-wet the tile. This is just a really fine mister. It's for watercolor. So that surface is wet. This might not work at all. but that other way was really not working. Well, it seems we're off to a better start. So that's something. It's actually staying wet, so that's good. And when I mean that, I mean the transfer is actually staying moist. I just wanna, okay. So let's just spray that and see what happens. And just gently compressing. Oh, but it is starting to transfer. Oh, doggy. All right. I don't know if you've ever seen people glaze and they'll like dip a piece in a bucket of water and then dip it in glaze so the glaze won't adhere as much. I wonder if I could like just dip part of the tile in water. And then do this. Let's just test and see if it's transfer. Oh, it is. It's funny. It's so funny to me. That this blue is transferring better than the black, because usually black is like the easiest color to transfer. Oh, it's coming. Well, this is working better. I don't know if it's because of the color or the technique. I'm gonna call it. So it is working. It's not amazing, but it's better than the first one. So let's do this last one, and we're gonna do that same thing. That seemed to work well. I'm actually gonna spray this too, just a little. Okay. Just gently compressing. If you've ever done Maiolica, this is kind of like that, but works better. You cannot tell I am frustrated. I thought this would work a lot better. Oh, it's starting to work. It is starting to work, but I'm not sure, I'm not sure that it would be worth it. You know, it might just be easier to paint underglaze or slip even and transfer on top of that. I thought this would be faster and easier, and it's the opposite. It's slower and more difficult. So, but that's okay, right? We're learning. All right. It worked a little. That's not great. That's probably the worst of the three. And now I want to show you what it actually looks like. I thought that I did some earlier in the week and I thought, oh, now I'm an expert. I'm not. So this is the one I did earlier in the week. I did the blue and it did transfer, but I had to add so much water. It kind of, you can see in here even, the glaze got really thin right there. The cool thing is, like, if I can see, like, the underglaze isn't matte. It does take on the shine of the glaze, so that's kind of cool. I did another one too. This is that same, the one I just worked on, the sky blue. You can see it barely. Again, it's glossy. The white here, this is, that's a commercial transfer. I wanted to see if that would work any better. It did not. So it's not me. It's just, it's a weird technique. So, I'm not sure if I'm gonna play around with it more than this, but it is interesting. Maybe if I, you know, I already have these glazes, so I'm not at a point where I want to revamp all my glazes just for a technique I might or might not use. But anyway, there's some info for you, and I hope you have a good week.